How we doing? Everybody good today? How about that weather, huh? That's some Northwest weather for you.
You used to it, right?
Yeah, I'm used to it. Yeah, I'm totally used to it.
Did you have any major impressions of Oregon when you were with Washington, and how have they changed since you've come down to Oregon?
I mean, I've always thought, over the last 3 years when I played against them, they were physical, they played hard. Obviously, I never got a chance to beat them. But no, it was always fun playing against them and competing against them.
You recruited Troy to Washington, and obviously he came here. What's it been like being able to work with them here and kind of further maybe some of that pitch you had at Washington with an opportunity here?
No, obviously I've known Troy since he was probably like a freshman, sophomore in high school, so we got a good relationship, him and his mom and his dad. I'm close to the family. Obviously when we recruited him, we weren't able to get him, but now I'm here. It's good to coach him. It's good to, I'm good to see his development. And I think he's having a good spring ball.
What were your first impressions of the group you inherited here? Because when you first walked in, Justice wasn't here just yet. Yoda wasn't here just yet. It was particularly thin in terms of number and certainly by way of game experience. So what was your first impression? How has that changed over the last several weeks, 11 practices?
Well, my first impression was like there's some good talent in the room. Obviously there's some youth, like you said, some inexperience and some, with the young guys like Troy and Dante and those guys, but no, they're developing. It's a process, and we all understand that. And they're coming out every day and they're having fun and they're competing.
I want to ask you about Justice. What have you seen from this spring, his growth? I mean, he's someone that didn't have the most football experience, but he's kind of got the intangibles to be really good.
Nah, Justice has been good. I mean, just to graduate early and to be able to get here for spring ball, and to, I want to say is like, second or third day being here, even pads, and making plays. His first play, I'll never forget. He had a ball over the middle, and it doinks him off the head, and we see him respond the next play. He goes out and makes a play, and that's how Justice is. Since he's gotten here has progressed and has steadily gotten better and competed, and I can't even imagine what it's like being in his shoes, like coming in and then just getting thrown into the fire and being able to adjust. So no, he's been impressive that way.
I feel like one of your guys has really emerged as the prototypical X and that vertical threat in the room?
All the guys have made plays down the field. I'm not gonna say there's just one individual, but as a group, they're developing and they're getting better each day, and that we understand it's a process. But for the most part, each guy has had their day of catching the ball down the field vertically.
What kind of progress did you see from last weekend's scrimmage to this one from your group?
I wanted to see us blocking in the run game, blocking safeties, throwing our face in there. We're having fun, and that's all I'm asking to do is have fun, go out here and compete and play with good effort.
How do you think McGhee has transitioned this spring, coming away from that running back role to kind of more slot receiver and working with you a little bit?
Seven has progressed. Seven plays hard. He's done a good job of catching the football and lining up playing. He's just a really good football player. You know what I mean? And we're gonna expect him to do some things for us. But I think all those guys, the guys in the room, push Seven. Seven has done a really good job of coming in and getting extra time. You know what I mean? And putting in the extra work in learning the scheme, learning the position. And, he's progressing, and he's getting better each day.
What does that look like for him? Do you mean in terms of film, he's getting extra time, or is it film?
Yeah, film. He comes in extra time for film. He stays after and catches footballs. He'll come in, right after practice and watch it. He'll send me texts of clips of plays, and he's steady asking. He's eager to learn, and we're excited about him.
Such a young group. Is there a player who's maybe emerged from a leadership perspective?
I mean, there are some young guys in the room, but at the end of the day, you still have, older guys like Isaiah Crocker and Josh Delgado, and them guys that have been here for a while, that have been able to step up in some leadership roles. And I will say this, Isaiah Crocker's having a good camp, right? Josh Delgado's having a good camp, and they're bringing along some of the younger guys in that room.
How has it been working with Kenny Dillingham? Obviously, he's a high-energy guy.
Right. KD, man, KD has been fun. I didn't know KD before I got here, so his energy is infectious. He's very smart. He's very bright. He knows what he wants out of the system, and he's putting guys in position to make plays. I'm excited to work with him. I'm excited to learn from him. Dan Lanning, the same thing. The passion that those guys bring every day is infectious.
How have you complimented working with him?
I can bring ideas to the table, but for the most part, we all work together as an offensive unit, and I think that's the cool thing. It's not, Kenny presents things and he allows us to give him ideas and he listens to our ideas, which is very awesome because there's some people that don't, you know what I mean? And, I'm excited to be able to work with those guys.
Did you have much exposure to the HUNH system previously? Like, did you clinic with anybody, whether it be Gus or Chad Morris or Norvell over the years?
Have I?
Yeah, prior.
No, I haven't. This is the first time I've been a part of this type of system, but it's good. I like it.
Now that you've been at Oregon for a while, getting through the spring, all eyes are on next weekend's scrimmage, at least from a fan standpoint.
Yeah.
What do you view as maybe some of the strengths of this offense? What do they do well?
I think we do a good job of getting the ball out quick. We do a good job in the run game, as far as the number count, getting guys the football, getting guys targets, and putting our players in the best position for them to be successful.
You obviously have a close relationship with Cooper Kupp from his time in school. I'm curious how watching his past year with the Rams winning that Super Bowl was like from a pride standpoint for you. How much fun was that for you?
Pride-wise, Coop, it's all Coop, man. That dude works hard. One thing about Coop, he's married to the process, and he's process-driven over results-driven. And to see his work paying off is awesome. You know what I mean? And the thing about it, playing that long of a season, he was blessed he's blessed to stay healthy. You know what I mean? I think he's had some good seasons leading up to the way, or throughout the season, and he may have got nicked up or may have had an injury, but he stayed durable. He stuck to his process, and I'm excited for him and his wife Anna and his family. I mean, it's awesome to be able to sit back and sit on my couch and actually watch him, catch the fade to win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm excited for his whole family.
If you didn't know Kenny and you hadn't worked in his system, what was so attractive about joining the staff?
Guys, look who we got on this. I mean, this is a heavy hitter staff now. I mean, it's talented. It's football coaches as they come. You know what I mean? I was just excited to get here and eager to get here and be able to learn from these guys, and especially with Dan. I think, if what he believes in and what I believe in, it fell in line. Just connecting, the growth mindset. These are all the things I believe in and that Dan believes in, and it works together. And I'm fortunate, and I'm very excited to be here.
So the other day, Chris Hudson was limited on Thursday, but it sounded like he was out there today. Certainly he's been out there a lot of spring. When he's the leader returning in terms of numbers, what has he brought to the room? How has he elevated his game so far this spring?
Chris is a dog. He's a competitor, ultra competitor, and that's what he brings to that room. And he's a playmaker. He makes a lot of plays. He brings that juice every day in practice, and he works at it.
Do you have him at the Y, the Z, the A, anyone in particular? Or?
I mean, a guy like Chris, he can move around anywhere.
You've got a variety of skill sets in the wide receiver group. You got length, you got speed, playmaking. What do you want a Junior Adams wide receiver to be known for, to pride themselves on?
Playing hard and having fun and making plays. And most importantly, I always say FBI, football IQ, being smart football players and situational football, and going up and competing for the football.
How does blocking kind of factor into that? And does Chris kind of set the tone as a blocker for you guys? I know you had some huge hits last year.
Chris is funny, man. No, Chris is he'll throw his face in there now. He's a dog now. He's going to bite you. But all those guys will go out there, and that's the thing that I like about this group. They're super talented. Like we said, there's size and speed in there. There's good, smart football players. Every one of them are totally different, and that's what's pretty cool about them.
You inherited a group that, with Troy and Dante and Isaiah, they went by last year. Was the big thing was unleash the skinnies. They called themselves the skinnies.
The skinnies?
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard that one.
Well,
I'm about to walk in the meeting room and ask them about what's the skinnies.
Well,
okay.
that's why I posed the question to you is
Yeah.
that, and when you talk about perimeter blocking, and all right, Troy came in, he was 169 pounds.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he's put on since, but
He's put on some weight.
Right. So how much do you want your guys to be known as something a little bit more, to fill out their frames a bit more now that they're
Yeah,
here
to me,
too,
sometimes it's not about how big you are. It's about, them wanting to be able to do it. You know what I mean? And first of all, we haven't talked about Dante, but Dante's done a really good job just getting in here and buying in, to what I believe in and how I teach the position. And you're talking about a guy that's really worked at it. And Dante throws his face in there and blocks as well. And I'm just excited about all these guys.